working, and hey, sometimes you lose your job. It don't be sometimes things that's your fault, but it can happen, right? And you come home and you tell your wife, "Man, I lost my job today." Imagine her reacting like this woman. Let's check this out.
So you married?
I'm going through a divorce.
What happened with that?
I basically my husband stopped meeting my expectations.
What you mean?
When I met him, when I met my husband, I told him what I expect from a man. The number one rule with being with me is you have to provide. I won't settle for anything less. So my husband ended up losing his job.
He had a job?
Yeah,
Where he worked
he
at?
had a job. He was a manager at a
Put
warehouse.
the mic in so these people can hear you. He was a manager at the warehouse?
He was a manager at a warehouse.
Okay.
So he ended up losing his job. He came home and he told me. I'm like, okay, cool. All right. So a month went by and he looked for me to pay the bills. Who paying what bills? So I was going to consider it if he gave me the money back for paying the bills. And he told me no. He felt like he shouldn't have to do that. What do you mean? When I told you, as a man, I expect you to provide. Under no circumstances will I ever touch bills as long as I got a husband. None. If you can, you can hear.
He probably happy you gone, though.
I'm sure he missed me.
Headache? That would be a headache for me. Like, I know I just lost my job. What if he lied? You know, do that. Like, I just lost my job, baby, to test.
But
What is he doing now?
that's childish. Like, what you testing me for?
Childish.
That's childish.
I'm saying to see what I got. Now I see what I got.
If you asked me to be your wife, you knew what you had.
Nah, I ain't thinking I down lose my job from the warehouse and they gonna do that.
I mean, but you knew what it was.
So,
Like you knew what it was. I told you who I was from the beginning, and you still asked me to be your wife.
oh, you told him that if he lose his job, you gonna throw it?
I didn't tell him that, but I told him
What you
like
tell?
you are to provide, and I told him, baby, your money is my money, and my money is my money. And so he didn't have any more money, and that was a problem for me.
Let me tell you something, man. That was the most beautiful thing ever. She going through a divorce with him, man. Trust me. Not only has he dodged a bullet, and you know we covered this woman previously, and just the way she just disrespected him on a good day, but because just the woman is utterly disrespectful. But the thing is, she claimed that he knew who she was. But technically, he didn't, because did you tell him, well, if you lose your job, I'm gonna walk out the relationship? No, she didn't do that. But it tells me, you say you don't do touch bills, you don't do whatever. Well, what were you doing? How were your bills being paid before he came along? Because I know good and well you were touching bills before he came along, unless you're living at your mammy house, and your mammy was paying all the bills, and you just living off of your mama like a bum. Then that's okay. Then that's the case, and that's what it is. But how are you paying your bills before this man came along? If a woman leaves you off some BS like that, yeah, it may like you won't understand it. Like, man, that's hurtful. That's like whatever, bruh. Look, that is a blessing that the Lord gave you. Say, God, thank you for removing this person out of my life, because this person did not need to be here. Because I promise you, whoever that brother is, you will be greater later. Get that woman out your life. Like, man, cut all ties from that woman and move on. And trust me, they got women that's not like that and not stupid like her. Because a woman that's silly like that, she's going to be by herself. And she's gonna be the main one on somebody else's podcast complaining, I can't find nobody, and this and the third. Well, you actually had somebody. I mean, why should the man have to pay you back? You're not his child. You're living there too. It's called a partnership. Yes, men, traditionally pay the majority of the bills. But hey, sometimes, what if he got sick? You gonna leave him? Because now all the time people lose their job, people get sick. It happens. But what if she had got sick for some reason? What if the man left her? Then what? Then they say, oh man, he filed. He left her sick and all of that. So yeah, this woman has a horrible, horrible spirit about her. It's horrible. And then you want to have this sassy attitude on top of it. Like I said, she ain't gonna have nobody. Because one thing, like my grandmother always say, them kind of people never prosper. Never. Yeah, never prosper in life. Because when you do good people wrong, it always gonna come back to you. Listen, y'all, I've seen it way too many times.